There has been an update. There has been a situation. Unity has released an open letter to their community. I'm Mark Whitman, and I lead Unity Create, which includes the Unity engine and editor teams. I want to start with this. I am so sorry. We should have spoken with more of you, and we should have incorporated more of your feedback before announcing our new runtime fee policy. Our goal with this policy is to ensure that we can continue to support you today and tomorrow and keep deeply investing into our game engine. You are what makes Unity great, and we know that we need to listen and work hard to earn your trust. We have heard your concerns, and we are making changes in the policy we announced to address them. All right? Our Unity personal plan will remain free, and there will be no runtime fee for games built on Unity Personal. We will be increasing the cap from 100K to 200K, and we will remove the requirement to use the Made with Unity splash screen. Okay. Do people care about that? I don't know. No game with less than $1 million in trailing 12-month revenue will be subject to that fee. For those creators on Unity Pro and Unity Enterprise, we are also making changes based on your feedback. The runtime fee policy will only apply beginning with the next LTS version of Unity. LTS, what does LTS stand for? Long-term support version. Okay, got it. Shipping 2024 and beyond. Your games that are currently shipped and the projects you currently are working on will not be included unless you choose to upgrade them to this newer version of Unity. So that's kind of good. I mean, I'll have to say that, like, basically they're saying anything that you're currently working on is not going to be related to the new policy. I think that's good. So yeah, never upgrade, exactly. We'll make sure that you can stay on the terms applicable for the version of Unity editor that you're using, as long as you keep using that version. For games that are subject to the runtime fee, we are now giving you a choice of either 2.5% revenue share or the calculated amount based on the number of new people engaging with your game each month. Both of these numbers are self-reported from data you already have available. You will always be billed the lesser amount. I'm going to be honest, guys. I think this is a really good paragraph. I unironically think this is a pretty good paragraph. This is good. How can you trust what they say if they literally change if they want to? Well, I bet probably the reason why they're walking a lot of this back is because the lawyers at Nintendo and MiHoYo told them that they're not able to walk it back. That's probably the reason. I would say that's probably the biggest reason. More so than people leaving. So yeah, but I mean, like, again, I will give credit where credit is due. This is a good paragraph. We want to continue to build the best engine for creators. We truly love this industry, and you are the reason why. I'd like to invite you to join me for a live fireside chat today. Yeah, they had to wait till I was asleep to fucking do this because they didn't want me to react, I bet. It's, of course, all about me. So let's go ahead and read some of the comments that people have. Overall, I think that this is my opinion about this. I think that this is obviously pretty good. Their response is about as good as you could have expected them to have. However, I don't really think that it's going to restore the trust that a lot of these businesses might have lost in Unity. I think that it's going to stop people from immediately moving away from the software, especially knowing that these policies won't be applied immediately. So people will probably finish out their projects in Unity, and then based off of how Unity does in the next 6 months, a year, or 2 years, for whenever they finish that project in the future, they'll probably make a decision whether they want to leave Unity for good or not, which is going to probably depend on the current state of other development engines like Godot, Unreal, and I think there's another one that I don't remember. So that's probably what's going to happen. Unity turns into Mutiny. Oh, that's good. Very good. And anyway, let's look at this. If I understand correctly, after the first year of my game, made with Unity, reached more than $1 million USD, and more than 1 million people got it. That's whenever the fee starts. Hi there, no context SpongeBob. It's correct. Yeah, I mean, overall, this is always... It's definitely a huge improvement. That's the point that I'm making, right? Is that it is a huge improvement it does make things a lot better, but I don't think it really solves anything else. You guys see what I'm saying? Huge improvement. Not negative 100 is still negative 50. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the issue is the versatility. Well, I think the issue really is that people don't want to build a castle on sand. They don't want to go on to Unity and be like, okay, well, I want to invest the next 3 years of my life building a game on an engine that could just one day decide to change the rules. So I think that's the way a lot of people feel. Give the worst choice first so people can take the less worse one. Yeah, I don't think that's, I don't think this one's really that bad because it allows people to make a decision about the future, if that makes sense. It doesn't win back any of my trust on an incompetent team. Yeah, I kind of agree with that too. Also, their previous policy sounded like it could have been acted on retrospectively. Yeah, something like that. Starting in November, you can't use Unity unless you have internet available. I think that's like kind of more of a meta thing, right? It's not really that big of a deal, but I can see kind of why people would be unhappy about that. Just overall, like, as I said, I don't think this is going to really bring a lot more people back to Unity or trusting Unity again. It's just going to keep people from leaving immediately, which is probably the best thing that they can do. Like, what Unity needs to rely on right now is to just simply tread water and hope that people forget. Yeah, it's just damage control, and that's it. It's just going to slow down the collapse. Yep, there you go. How many games earn more than $1 million? A lot of games can earn more than $1 million, and if they could earn more, then people are going to hope that they could, and that's what everybody wants to be able to do, right? It's just that they're not quite able to. I think that's what the issue is. Biggest developers already dropped Unity, so it's already dead. And that's the issue, right? Is that once the trust is eroded, then everything else kind of goes away afterwards. What's this here? Imagine Xbox went back on their decision to require internet to use the console. Well, they did. They did have to go back on their decision because PlayStation was farming them. That's what happened. It stops the bleeding. Yeah, I think that's the best that they can hope for. Leadership made this decision. It's only damage control. The only thing to truly restore faith is to change leadership. I don't think that's really going to matter, honestly. I think that the problem is, again, getting the trust back from a community like that is so hard, especially because it's a business-based community. But I do think that this will stop people from immediately leaving Unity. Why are people shitting on Xbox for trying to buy Nintendo? Isn't it a normal thing? I don't know. It doesn't really matter. Like, I'm just saying, like, that's something totally different. Brand damage is often unfixable. Yeah, look at, like, what happened for Blizzard. Yeah, I think that what happened with Blizzard, like, anytime Blizzard does anything, it's bad. How much do the other engines charge? Unreal is, like, 5%, something like that. So I think 5%, I mean, like, at this point, they just have to... It's not about being better than Unreal. It's about being more trustworthy than Unreal. And that's what matters more than actually having a better revenue split. CD Projekt Red also has brand damage during Cyberpunk 2077, so bad that it tanked their portfolio. Yeah, well, look at what happened with Throne and Liberty and NCSoft. Throne and Liberty comes out, the beta comes out, it's such a disaster, NCSoft loses multiple points on their stock because of how bad it is. Unity was never in competition with Unreal. I think that to a degree it is, and like, I know what you're saying, right? Because like Unreal is used primarily for 3D and Unity is used primarily for 2D, like for sure. But of course it is there. Just because the two circles here. I'm not saying Unity and Unreal are like this, right? I'm not saying they're like this. But what I am saying is that they're probably like this or like this. So it's not a matter of do they have overlap. Of course they have overlap. Microsoft said Xbox doesn't reach 100 million Game Pass subscribers by 2027. They'll shut it down. It's only at 27 million subscribers. Well, I don't think they're probably going to do that realistically. Not at all. You guys don't understand what a Venn diagram is and how Venn diagrams work? You guys being serious? You really actually don't know that? You need to go back to 3rd grade and ask for a refund because they didn't teach you this shit. You think you don't fucking understand what a Venn diagram is? You fucking stupid? As a 3D artist, the whole idea of Unity is mainly 2D. Not true. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I've heard a lot. I've looked at this a lot, and I've heard many times over the past like week or 2 weeks that Unity is much more competitive in developing 2D games than Unreal is. And of course, it's not it's not black and white, no. But a lot of 2D games, it seems like, are programmed with Unity. Like, why do people always try to use an extreme to fucking, like, counter what I'm saying? I didn't say every single fucking 2D game is made with Unity. What the fuck are you talking about? Valheim's made with Unity, it's 3D. No, I didn't fucking say that. That's ridiculous. Jesus Christ. I don't think this is going to help Unity all that much in the long term, but it definitely helps them a lot in the short term. I'm glad to see them at least address it a little bit. I think they kind of had to at this point. And, like, let's look at how their stock was affected. This is the way their stock was affected. And this was, 5 days ago. And so you see it was $35, and it has gone all the way down to $31. They've lost $3 of stock, which is somewhere around 10%. A little bit less than that, obviously. Do the math. And that's pretty fucking bad. To make a change like this and have your stock drop by 10% in a matter of days. That's bad in one day? Yeah, that's really, really bad. And it seems like also this announcement came out, and it didn't really, it seemingly didn't, maybe it did a little bit of a bump here. Maybe this is whenever they announced it. But then apparently it went back down. So I think that really tells a different story as well.